What's going on, Craftinistas? I'm back with a tutorial to show you how I made these two altered embroidery hoops. So I started out with 9-inch, one 9-inch hoop for the first one. Just took the tags and wrappings off of it. Then I took this paper pad that I picked up at Tuesday morning and kind of flipped through it to try to find something that inspired me. And what I did find was this soft, kind of peachy color paper. So I ripped that out, and then I took the hoop itself and took some gesso and went on and put the gesso on it and took off that boring wooden color. Once I got that all painted and dried, I went on and took my fabric tack and glued that down and found the spot that I wanted. The bottom of the paper had a little bit of butterflies on it. So I tried to get that in there. Then I went on and took my scissors and cut off the excess paper. Then I used this plaid butterfly stencil I picked up at Walmart sometime last year, and it was super cheap. So I took that and went on and took some modeling paste and painted that over. And then once it was on for a second, I went on and picked up my stencil, and then I was left with those beautiful butterflies in the middle. So while that was drying, I went on and looked through some of my embellishments and picked out a few. So I picked out a few. I didn't end up using all of them, but I picked out some that I thought would work with it. Then I used one of my punches. I used this tag punch. I want to put some tags on the side. So I picked out some paper from the paper pad that I thought that would coordinate. And then I took some bling, as always, and blinged out these tags. And once I ended up using it, I realized I didn't need to bling the top, but that's okay. I was prepared just in case I did have the top exposed. So I started placing everything on there to try to figure out where I wanted it. And then I put some gesso over the letters love and then over the butterfly. And then once that was quite dry, or while that was drying, I went on and took my fabric tack and kind of tacked down the flowers and the tags and got them kind of placed where I wanted them to go. Once I got everything else all lined up, I was ready for the items I just gessoed. So I took the love sign and then the butterfly, which once I gessoed it and it was this wooden color, it kind of turned out a little gray. So then I played with it, folded it, added some bling, and then I added a gray flower to the bottom so I can coordinate that in with everything. So I wanted to finish the outside of the hoop. So I added some fabric tack to the outside and added a little bit at a time, and then added this pearl trim, this pearl tear dot trim. Then once I got that all on, I added some more fabric tack to the inside ring, and then I went on and added some bling, I add some crystals to the inside of the ring. And just as I did the pearls, I added a little fabric tack at a time and then added the bling at a time. So I would just concentrate on one section carefully and let that section dry. So once I got that all on, I looked at it and thought, well, it's not quite finished. My tag area was kind of empty to me, so I picked up my silver paint pen and painted one of the little embellishments. That was an antique, maybe brass looking color, so I painted that. And then I added a little cameo and just added my fabric tack and tacked that down. So once I got those two pieces on, I kind of felt like I was happy with the way it looked. And I have that one ready to go. So now for the second one, I took this Heidi Swap paper that I also had picked up from Tuesday Morning a little while back and looked for something that was inspirational. So I picked up this heart arrow paper, and then I wanted something to go on the back. So I picked up that bow, and then I went through my Project Life cards and wanted to look for something else to throw on there. So I selected those. I took some washi tape, and once I got that cut out, I used it as a base to cut out the other circle. I wanted the back to actually have something to show instead of a plain white background. So as you can see, I flip it over on this one, it will have another pattern on it. Then I picked up another piece of paper, that heart paper, and is going to use that for a pocket. But then I just took some glue and glued down each of those on top of each other. So then I took my fabric tack, and as a little bit by little bit each section I put some glue down, and then just took some ribbon and wrapped it around, and then I have that finished look there. I thought I'd do something different instead of paint this one. So I ended up turning my arrows up and down until I figured that I liked it going, up and across, but I figured I liked it up and down. So I ended up using that way. And I glued that down and then picked up my paper to try to figure out how big of a pocket that I wanted. And so I ended up with my pocket being kind of low, and I glued it on with a fabric tack and trimmed that off. Then to cover up the rougher edges, and of course I wanted to add something, so I added this pearl trim. So once I got it to where I wanted it as much as I needed, I just went on and trimmed that off. Then I finished the bottom of it. So I picked up one of the card embellishments that I had, and I wanted to add some more pearls. So I took the gold heart and added some pearls to it. And those just stuck right on. And so I also added some pearls to my flowers on the card. Put a little glue on that and put my card there on the pocket. Then I took some pop-up dots and went on and popped up that heart mason jar in the back. And I love how that turned out. This one is different from the first one, and I hope you enjoyed it.